I've recently been talking about, I had a Godzilla game, a kaiju game style game, played some, I like the idea of these monster games, but they're very rarely done correctly. Well, this one here has been designed by Richard Garfield, the guy who did Magic the Gathering.
Hey.
Magic the Gathering is a fairly complex collectible card game. King of Tokyo is not. It's dice. It's simple. It has a board with one space.
2.
Well, 2 if you use a 5 to 6 player game.
Okay.
I don't even know why such a board exists. But is it a good game? Hang on, we'll get there. So here we have the most simplified board probably in existence, with literally one space for most games and 2 spaces for if you have 5 or 6 players. Each player is going to choose one of these giant monsters: Alienoid, Mecha Dragon, Cyber Bunny, who do we got here? The Kraken, and Gigazar, and of course my favorite, the King. Now, each of these guys is going to start with a little dial up here, you can see, spinning around and around. You're going to start with 0 victory points. You're trying to get 20. That's how you win. Or if you kill all the other monsters. And then down here in the bottom, you'll see another counter, which gives you 10 hit points. You will then take your monster and place him in front of you. Alright, so everyone does that. Meanwhile, we have a deck of cards, and we'll turn over the top 3 cards and put them next to the board. Here we got wings and extra head and evacuation orders. And the game is ready to begin. Each player takes their turn at a time, and what they do is you have your typical Yahtzee-style dice rolling, in which you roll your dice like this, and then I say, okay, I'm going to keep these 2, I'm going to keep this one, and then you can re-roll, and you say, oh, I'm going to keep all 3 of these, and I'm going to re-roll this one, and after your 3rd roll, you're done. Now, what do the symbols mean? Well, you're trying to get victory points, so there's 1s, 2s, and 3s for victory points. However, you need to get 3 of them to get that many victory points. So if I have 3 1s, that's worth a victory point. Of course, every 1 after that is an extra victory point. If I get 3 2s, I get 2 victory points. And if I get 3 3s, I will get 3 victory points. And every 3 after that is worth 1 extra victory point. So the most you can get through this method of getting victory points is you can get 6 by rolling all 6 3s, by rolling 3 here for the first 3 and then an extra 1. So that's what you want to do. But you also like rolling these energy signs. You will use these to get some energy that you can keep between turns, and you can spend to buy cards. Cards cost a certain amount of energy, 7, 7, 6, and there's a whole deck full of cards, and these cards will give you special advantages. For example, this one here, you buy it for 7 things, and you discard it, and every other monster loses 5 victory points. This one here is an extra head. It gives you an extra die, which is included in the game. And then you have, on your turn, 7 dice that you're rolling. This one here gives you wings. Anytime someone attacks you, you can spend 2 energy to negate damage to you for a turn. So you keep that, but you'll need energy to use it. Now, the other 2 symbols on the dice are attack and heal. Heal simple. If you've been hurt, you can heal up to a maximum of 10, although there is a card that lets you go over 10. But you can heal up to 10, and then this will let you attack another monster. Now, attacking works like this. The game is called King of Tokyo for a reason. I want to get in Tokyo and be the King of Tokyo. So the first player who rolls an attack, nothing happens. They simply move into Tokyo. From then on, if I roll, for example, on my turn, let's say I rolled 2 attacks, I do 2 damage to the guy in Tokyo. He takes 2 damage. At that point, the guy in Tokyo decides, am I going to get out of Tokyo, or am I going to stay in? If he gets out, then the guy who attacks him has to go in and take his spot. Alright? So when you attack someone, there's a chance you go in. Every time you go into Tokyo, you get a victory point. So going into Tokyo will give you that victory point, but by staying in Tokyo, you're going to be taking damage from all the monsters who attack you. If you stay in Tokyo to the beginning of your turn, then you get 2 more victory points. So that's the advantage to staying in there, you get a lot of victory points. The disadvantage, like I said, is everyone's attacking you, and also when you're in Tokyo, you cannot heal yourself. You can only heal yourself outside of Tokyo. When the guy in Tokyo attacks, he attacks all the monsters who aren't in Tokyo. Now, when you play 5 to 6 player games, there's 2 spots. There's Tokyo Bay and Tokyo. So 2 monsters can be in Tokyo at the same time. That's pretty much the game. If you go down below 10 hit points, then you're dead. Yeah, and out of the game. And you could win by eliminating everyone else, or the first person to get 20 victory points. The card deck, full of wonderful, great artwork, has all different things. Some cards are cards like this, where you discard 2 points and 3 damage to all other monsters. Or something fun, all monsters, including you, take 3 damage. That's a great one to play at certain moments. The corner store, some just give you a victory point, like this one does. This one gives you a spiked tail. When you attack, you do an extra damage. Or when you roll 3 2s, you do 2 damage. Poison quills. And there's all sorts of cards, and it really does come through with your typical Japanese monster movie with all these cards. And so that's how you play King of Tokyo. Alright, well.
I'll show the back of the box now.
Oh, the back of the box is cooler. I love this game. Now, I have to admit, I am not a huge fan of the Monster Destroy City movies, mostly because I can't stand the terrible special effects in them. Unlike a lot of people, I actually didn't mind the Godzilla movie so much. If nothing else, just to see I like to see a monster destroy New York City. But this game rocks. It really does. There's not a lot of complexity behind it. It's basically a Yahtzee version in a sense, but it's a Yahtzee version where you're attacking the other players. And I think the deck of cards for me really makes the game. Being able to buy those upgrades and do different things each time, and the trash talking. I mean, what do you think?
I absolutely agree. The fun factor of this game is through the roof, especially if you play it with the right people. But even if you don't play it with the exactly right people, everybody will still have a good time with it. Not everybody's going to like it, of course, but if you don't like it, then you're just snooty, and you shouldn't be playing board games anyway. That's tongue-in-cheek, everybody. Please, leave me alone. But this is a very fun game, and yes, there is a lot of trash talking in it. You will actually be tempted to take yourself out. And
yes,
because I have done it many times in order to take other people out. So sounds kind of Kingmaker-ish, but it isn't. Not with this game. This is actually that is a viable option in this game.
I love how the back of the box here, it doesn't say "great game" or "buy." It just shows a picture of Tokyo burning. That's it. There's nothing.
Absolutely.
I've never seen the back of the box. Nope. It doesn't tell you anything about the game. It's just, hey, right. It's fun.
Exactly.
The cartoon artwork, I think, fits it really well. The silly,
Perfectly.
They couldn't use the words Godzilla and King Kong and such, but that's what they are.
Well, they use the word king.
Yeah, but well, anywho, this is a game that works really well with 6 players. Works really well with that larger group. I look forward to seeing. I know there's some promo cards for it that you can get online. I would like to see more small expansions, but this is the kind of game that we should see more of. And like I said on my audio podcast, I already did my top 100, but I think this one would have made it on board had I been doing it just for the sheer funness of it. Like Cash and Guns, Bang, games like that, this is exactly in that same genre.
But it's easier than those games.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It just
easier to play, easier to teach.
Bam, just pulled out. So I give this one 2 giant monster thumbs up.
I'm going to give it 2 huge mechanical bunny thumbs up.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
They're gonna quote that.
They probably will.
All right. Well, so I guess this company, look forward to it. Richard Garfield still obviously has it when it comes to making board games.
Yep.
But if you're looking for just a plain silly fun time, but with some good game behind it, I mean, It's not just random. You got to make some choices in it.
Right.
Check it out.
Very good.